cultures as the great moment of tourism.
Ang programang magbibigay daan upang talakayin ang mga isyong may kinalaman sa ating karapatan bilang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Kwentong nagpapalakas ng loob at bubuhay ng bawat pangarap upang ang tagumpay ay makamtan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan.
Mga balita at kwentong kapupulutan ng aral na magsisilbing gabay para sa ating mga kababayan. Legal na usapin, hihimayin upang lubos na manawaan, tamang gabay maaring mailaan.
Balitang walang kikilingan, bawat isa magkakaroon ng boses sa dapat pakinggan, mga isyong dapat masolusyonan. Mga usaping pilit iniiwasang pag-usapan at harapin, sisikapin naming abutin sa ngalan ng katotohanan, pagkakaisa at kapayapaan.
Mga kwentuhang pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa bilang mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Britanya, bayanihan at kumustahang magbibigay inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
Ganda ng buong Britanya ang hatid namin sa inyo. Pasyalang kagigiliwan, kwentong simple, pero kapupulutan ng aral. Biyahe, lakwatsa, at kwentuhan, tiyak mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Iba't ibang kwento ng buhay, nais naming isalaysay na aral ng buhay ang tangi naming inaasam.
Sa bawat larangan, angat kakabayan, talino at galing ng Pinoy, hinangaan at may magpalaki sa buong Britanya.
Mula sa salaysay ng bawat buhay, kwentong palasyo patungong paraiso, hatid namin ang saya, inspirasyon at galak sa lahat ng Pinoy sa buong Britanya.
Galing ng Pinoy sa mangdako ng mundo, nag-iwan ng marka sa larangan ng industriya.
Mula sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy, sa Britanya.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rapa.
Susan Pelais Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang! Magandang hapon, Britanya. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Umaga, hapon, gabi sa amang bahagi ng mundo. Samahan niyo kami sa Halalan series ng Britanya ngayon. The world is still celebrating Women's Month and Mother's Day tomorrow. That's why we have the Women in Power as our guest panelists.
Women, it's about time that our significant contributions to the society must be recognized, felt, and continuously to be magnified. As we geared towards the Philippine election this May 2022, we will draw from them some inspirations. Women from different walks of life. We have Ana Luisa Enriquez Crespo, Dana Quinto, Nilda Panambo, and Marilyn Thompson.
We are getting there. Many of our friends, supporters of different political parties have expressed their thoughts of whys, and they are standing up with their candidate. Itanong kay Babu have something for you. We have Omar Barrera for Isko.
And of course, Halalan is an event that everybody should participate. Susan's blog in my effort to visit many places in the UK, explore the beauty of nature, people, and its culture. One will always encounter people who will tell you about local history and the natural world around us. Rolls of Sea will bear it all. A British man with Pinoy heart, why he fell in love with the Philippines. Let's hear it from Malcolm Conlan.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Susan Pelais Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang! And now, sa camera ko, James, mamaya na kayo bumati. Dapat focus sa akin yan. Mamaya na babati mga co-host ko, di ba? O kunwari aalis kayo, hindi ko alam. Pero nakikita ng audience.
Ganun
so,
ba yun?
Oo, ganun
Parang
talaga.
invisible.
Oo,
O,
ganun
sige.
talaga.
Magdidisappear muna kami.
Mamaya na po babati ang mga co-host ko kasi medyo na late kami at bago kasi ang venue namin. But anyway, iba-iba ang drama ng politika na mga political parties. Kaya naman, talaga may battle of the crowd, di ba, na tinatawag. Pero dito sa United Kingdom, alam din namin yan. Kaya sa Itanong kay Babu, makakasama natin ang isa sa mga nurse na pumunta dito sa United Kingdom. Okay? At sa kanya natin malalaman sino si Isko mula kay Babu Gamboa. Siya ay isang nurse na nagtapos ng nursing sa Cavite City sa St. Joseph. Makakasama natin maya-maya, kaya standby kayo. Pasok, sponsor. Thank you, BC Remit.
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Okay. so, so here we are. Good afternoon again to our guests, Sir Omar Barrera, and to all our viewers who are with us and participating in this program, Britanya Ngayon. And we have with us very interesting, shall we say, spokesperson. Can we say that? On behalf of our presidential candidate, Isko Moreno. Correct?
Yes.
Ano ba yung complete name ni Isko? Should I be asking?
I believe it's
Francisco.
Francisco Moreno Domagoso.
Isko Moreno Domagoso. And does he have any screen names other than Isko Moreno?
No, I think he's using his own name.
It's Isko. No,
I thought it's Moreno came from Herman Moreno.
Herman Moreno.
It's actually his middle
yes.
name.
Okay. Okay. So there you are. Siguro, let me shoot the first question. Being introduced by no less than our director, Ma'am Carol. Siguro by this time, it's fair to say that you can speak. Shall we say, deeply and about how the candidate will go as far as Isko Moreno is concerned. Do you really know him personally, and then have you had chance encounter with him, perhaps?
Just for everyone to be aware, I'm not actually. The only reason why I'm here is I'm supporting Isko Moreno 101%, and he has no connection with me apart from me supporting him. And,
that's on principle, and then
yes, I think that's the only
but
reason.
that's good enough. Don't get me wrong. That's good enough.
I
And,
might not be the best person to be here, though, but I'll try to answer your questions
that's not really
the
an
best
issue.
way I can.
Yes, it's not really a worry. But anyhow, you come from Manila.
No, I came from Cavite City. It's not far from
Cavite.
Manila.
Okay, yeah. So let me shoot the first question, which I think is very common to all the candidates. We normally ask this question.
Sure.
Why should voters vote for Isko Moreno? So why do you think? What will be the factors, as we say, that can convince and encourage people to vote for Isko?
Before anything else, I would like to say hi to all the subscribers of Britanya Ngayon, the 1 million soon-to-be subscribers. Congratulations, Britanya Ngayon, for this event.
Thank you very much.
So the question is, why Isko should be the next president of the Philippines? I think that's the most
You phrase
important
it
question.
correctly, yes.
He's a leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing for sure. I'll say it again. He is a good leader. And a good leader has to be visionary.
Mm-hmm.
Makita natin yung the thing he's done in Manila in just a span of 2 years, more than 2 years. And the fact of the matter is we have this pandemic as well. So he's really good as a leader. He's got integrity, and he's been honest with everything. And There's a video in YouTube. I don't know if you guys are aware. It was posted in YouTube like 15 years ago, and he actually resigned in the majority. By then he was only, I think he was only a councilor in Manila, and he said, if I quote, sinabi niya na mas maigi pa ang pakiramdam niya dati na siya ay isang basurero, na siya ang nagtutulak ng kariton, kaysa maging siya ay isang kariton na ang laman ay basura at tinutulak ng kung sino-sino. Ibig sabihin nito ay yung integridad ng isang tao, yung pagiging honest niya, na mas mainam sa kanya yung kanyang paninindigan, ang kanyang prinsipyo sa buhay. And then, that inspired me a lot. Nakita ko, this is the guy. Ito yung hinahanap ng tao eh. Ito yung kailangan ng isang bansa para mamuno. Sinabi niya na, just like Manuel L. Quezon said, my loyalty to the party ends where my loyalty to the country is. Napakahalaga yon, na mas pinili niya ang nakakarami kaysa sa mga iilan. So that shows integrity sa kanya.
But mind you, this is exactly the same issue, I believe, that was also, charged against him because of turncoatism. He was a child, he was a baby of, not a baby, he was an ally of the former mayor, Erap. And suddenly he just switched the party, and suddenly he attacked the political machinery that particularly put him into to what he is now. That is one of the issues. So how could you comment on that? I don't expect you to answer, but perhaps you just give us your comment.
As far as I know, I believe he mentioned that he's got his own party, political party, and he's been borrowed to join another party. He was invited to join another party, like the alliance with Mayor Lim. This is based on what I know and what I believe. And when he went to President Estrada, he was invited again, but he belonged actually to his original political party. Well, that doesn't mean that na may sinabi kang hindi maganda sa iyong ally. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It may be a bad thing for sa kanyang kadalaban, like si Mayor Lim or si Mayor Estrada. But also, it's good for the country. It's good for the people. Kasi naandun siya eh.
Check and balance.
Ibig sabihin nun, with check and balance, ibig sabihin nun ay kailangan mapanuri eh. Ang tao kailangan maging mapanuri kung tama ba ang ginagawa. Kahit ako sa isang organization, if I believe there's something fishy going on, if I believe na if I think I'm not happy about something, then I have to say something. You know, hindi naman dahil may sinabi ka, masama na yon. So, kailangan lang siguro na sabihin ni Isko Moreno na may mga bagay na ginagawa ang kanyang mayor na sa tingin niya ay hindi tama o hindi dapat.
So let's raise some topics. Although I don't really expect you to answer this deeply, but what I really want you to encourage us, to convince us on what you think is the stand as far as ISCO is concerned on the issue of, let's say, peace and order.
Sa peace and order, as what he said, in Manila, I believe he said 97% of the people's been arrested are alive. Contrary to what President Duterte is doing, that many people died, but that not necessarily means that's a bad thing, because we don't know what really happened. You know, maraming reasons bakit maraming namamatay sa panahon ni President Duterte eh. So,
okay,
just so you know,
in Manila, we could say that half of those who really died came precisely from Manila.
well, I don't really know because I don't have that data with me.
So what can you say about as far as the peace and order is concerned? Because you're saying that Kisco, one way or another, has no hand in all these extrajudicial killings. What do you think was the problem? Why, if not half, most of the killings happened in Manila?
Well, Manila is a dense place.
Okay.
Andiyan ang puntahan ng mga tao eh. It's crowded. Nakita naman natin kung I used to live in Manila during when I was studying in FEU.
Okay.
At nakita ko kung gaano sila crowded kasi yan ang puntahan ng mga tao from different provinces. The more dense the place is, the more the crime rate is gonna be. So it's still depending on the kung paano ayusin ng isang administration ito, yung peace and order.
Okay.
So
how about on the graft and corruption? Kasi sabi na nga, merong alleged. I'm not saying that this is already decided because this is a political period. So everything has to come out. Itong sabi nila na nag-receive daw siya, he received payola from a rich Chinese businessman. I don't know if you heard this from campaigns that he was alleged to being accused of receiving payolas.
Well, Babo, I don't really know where you got that information, but
Okay.
I did actually my research and I couldn't find anything from the news. Unless you could tell me that there was a news.
There's allegations, by the way.
So
There's
the allegations came from the president, I believe.
Okay.
But he didn't actually mention the name of that person, of that presidential bowl. So, as I said, if it is really true, then the ombudsman, the office of the ombudsman should be doing something about it.
Of course.
The Sandigan Bayan should be doing something about it, and any regular court should be doing something about it. So, as of this moment, this is just merely accusations, which is no basis at all.
What about on economics? As far as development is concerned, what do you think is contribute towards economic development?
Same and simple. Yung ripple effect ng pag-unlad ng isang bayan, it diminishes the crime.
Okay.
Bakit? Nagpatayo ng bahay si Isko Moreno ng condo unit style na housing. And then sorry, I lost track. So mga condo unit, na-uplift yung
So in other words, by constructing these housing projects, there's a ripple effect.
Oh, yeah,
Of course, you have your workers, you have there is an economic activity. My question is, are we able to finance all this? At what extent, and where do we source the finance? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I'm sure Mayor Isko Moreno, this is just based on what I believe. I'm sure Isko Moreno knows about this.
Okay.
He has studied economics. In fact, his education is far better than mine.
From a lot of us, of course. Yeah.
Of course, he's been on different good schools, and he took all this opportunity in spite of his busy schedule. He took this opportunity to study. Kahit na medyo maedad na siya, I think education is very important to him, extremely important to him, I'd say.
And isa pa ito nga, cutting you off there, isa sa mga issue kasi is he has low educational background. Is it true? This is just the issues I got from social media.
Right.
Okay, can you tell us?
So I did a bit of research about him.
Okay.
So he's had postgraduate studies in Arellano University as a bachelor's of laws, pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila, public administration.
So there you are.
University of the Philippines. A lot of people wanted to go there.
Okay.
Even I tried, but I didn't. Local legislation and local finance in University of the Philippines. Oxford University, right here. Strategic Leadership Program. Harvard University. Wow, big time to, ha? Magagandang school ito.
So there you are.
Education program.
So there you are. So not having said
What more
anything.
we could ask for?
Exactly. But it says as well, they're also saying that Isko is still young. And this,
You know what, Babo?
kumbaga, okay, sige.
Sorry
go
to
on.
interrupt.
Yes, okay.
Mga Pilipinos, napakababaw eh. Wala na ba kayo may iba tong mas maayos-ayos, na mas mabigat-bigat? Yung bang, kahit ano lang may bato ng mga Pilipino, sabihin na, ambisyoso. What? Pang Manila lang. What? Sorry. Was Duterte, pang Davao lang ba si Duterte? But he became a president.
And a very good one.
And a very good one.
Okay.
Quite good. Far better than the other presidents. I'm sorry, I have to say that. Although I don't know about Magsaysay, Manuel Quezon, but mula ng buhay po ay mas magaling si Duterte sa kanila.
So, having said about Duterte and his legacy, it's already a legacy. In the same note, how do you think it is compared to Duterte if he becomes president?
You know, I've been telling this to everyone. I think Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso, if he's not going to be better than Duterte, at least as good as President Duterte. I'll vouch for Isko for that.
On what terms? Strong points.
Well, one thing is he's visionary.
In
he's-
terms of what? Visionary.
He's
That's too
young.
broad. When you say visionary, what visionary
He's
are you
got a
talking
plan.
about?
He's the only person, he's the only candidate that has a 10 points agenda for economics.
Now remember,
economy.
also one thing, Philippines is not Manila. Manila is not Philippines, as I said per se.
No, Manila
But what
is in
we're
the
saying-
Philippines,
I know,
right?
but what we're saying here, if he can perform well in Manila, what vision do you think he can do as far as the whole country is concerned? This is macro. Manila is a micro level.
But Manila is the capital of the
Of
Philippines.
course. But
yeah?
what we're saying is, what will be the vision?
The vision, andun eh. Ginawa na sa Manila eh.
And how do you think it will lead down to the provinces?
definitely.
There are problems in Mindanao. There are problems peace and order in Mindanao. There's of course a graphic corruption in general. So how could you be able to? You think can ISCO address these issues?
I
Not only in Manila, but the whole.
I truly
country.
believe Isko Moreno will be a good leader because he knows how to talk to people. Imagine Divisoria, for so many administration that passed, hindi nila maayos-ayos ang Divisoria. Isko Moreno, 48 hours lang, 2 days lang.
Okay.
And he's done it really well.
So, there you go. We only have so much time
if you
to.
talk about corruption,
Okay.
for those past administration, for sure there's corruption there. Pinatigil sabi nga ni Isko, anong ginawa niya? Wala siyang tinanggap. So everything has to stop. Sinabi niya, you know what? This is when he's had this interview with Karen Davila. You know what he said? I will move heaven and earth para malinis ang Manila. And he did it in just 2 years, 2.5 years, with pandemic.
Okay. So there you are. We only have so much time for this segment.
No, I wish I could have more time.
Of course, we have given already 10 minutes. This is a signal from the director. But anyhow, in 10 minutes, sir, perhaps what you'd like to share with the audience and what you think, and you could convince them to vote for ISCO. Go ahead, sir.
Kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng 17 regional world-class, I'll say it again, world-class hospitals sa buong Pilipinas, vote for Isko. You don't know what you guys missing for pag hindi natin binoto si Isko. He should be our next president this 2022. Magaling siya. He can work with anyone. Alam mo naman dito sa UK, yung NHS, yung ating health system dito is napakaganda. Sa Pilipinas, pag nangyari yon, napakalaga sa Pilipinas na magkaroon tayo ng maayos na health system.
National
Health
subsidized,
system.
subsidized.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I think it's a matter of corruption.
Are they
It's a
doing
matter
that in Manila, by the way? Do they subsidize medical needs,
Where?
medical care in Manila? I know Makati, they're doing that.
In one of the videos I've seen with Isko Moreno, with his interview with Banat Bay, he said that this Hospital of Manila is going to be for free for many poor Filipinos. So I don't know whether they're going to be doing it like here in the UK, that there's a private ward and then there's NHS. So that's a good thing. That's a good point for many Filipinos. Napakahalaga na magkaroon tayo ng maayos na health system na libre, kumpleto, wala kang babayaran.
Okay, but yeah, by the way, let's continue. We have a question from the audience.
Sure.
Okay.
Hi. Meron
Hi,
po,
Amy.
hello.
Online.
Meron po tayong question from the audience online. Ito po yung question niya. Ano ang programa ni Isko tungkol sa issue ng pork barrel? Ito ay isang daan ng korupsyon. Paano ito maiiwasan?
Well, the only answer to that coming from me is I don't know. Because I don't know, I haven't heard anything about the pork barrel. So, hindi ako pwede magsalita, magbigay ng isang komento na hindi ko alam. So, if you want to address that question, address it to him or to his team.
Okay.
I'm
Fair
sorry.
enough.
I'm sorry to say that.
No, that's fine.
Okay, follow-up question. Kung ikaw si Isko, what will be your answer? If you, for example, this is not obviously this is not from him, but it's it's for you as
I think pork barrel per se is not really a bad thing. Kailangan ng mga politiko yan eh. The only reason that making it bad is when it goes to corruption. I used to work in a government institution, so I would know. Pag may budget na 1 million, bibigay sa kontratista, tapos kontratista, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
that is the reasons why. But para maiwasan natin yun, of course, because that is pera ng bayan. Okay, it's the people's money. So para maiwasan natin yun. For example, I'm not talking about because hindi natin alam. Ano yung solusyon mo para ganun ay maiwasan? Ano yung programa na pwede mong sabihin para sa ganun maiwasan ng mga politician yung scratch your back, I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back, yung mga ganun bang bagay. Paano natin maiiwasan po yun?
Well, siguro palakasin natin ang check and balance natin. Tignan natin yung mga institusyon like Sandigang Bayan. You know what? I have actually an idea. Bakit di tayo magkaroon ng magtayo tayo ng isang museum na lahat ng mga corrupt na politicians ilagay yung pangalan doon. So it's going to be a deterrent for all the corrupt politicians. Yung mga politiko sa Pilipinas, kultura na ito ng mga Pilipinong politiko na the more the projects, the better for them for corruption. Tama, huwag na tayo magpaloko sa mga ito. Kita naman natin may isang dating presidente na pinakita lahat, pinost niya lahat yung lahat ng programa niya, lahat ng projects niya. Sabi ko, kultura ng Pilipino ito, the more the projects, the better for corruption sa kanila. So wag na tayong papaloko sa mga ito.
Okay. So there you are. Sir Omar Barrera, that's only about the time we have for
Thank you
this
very much,
segment.
Babo.
But you've shared with us something very, shall we say, very informative. If not, most of the information you're giving us close to truth. At saka you have a mind that perhaps that could be very good for as a spokesman for
I
ISKCO.
could be a good politician though.
I just said that as well. It could be a case as well to consider. But anyhow, your thoughts, you have already shared your thoughts. In the let's say 1 minute, what are the things you want to tell the audience?
Well, Isko Moreno has inspired many people. He has helped those people who are in need, and it is inspired them. I've seen a video about this girl. She's had kidney issues, and then nung gumaling siya, I think she's had the kidney transplant. Sabi niya, someday I'm gonna be a social worker so I can help other people as well. So Isko Moreno has inspired many Filipinos.
And perhaps with that, we have to wrap up our program. That's only the time we have. And on behalf of Itanong Kebabo and of course Omar Barrera, thank you very much for coming. And on behalf of your team, Isko Moreno for president. Good luck and may the best man win. And of course, we know that Isko is a very credible person to be the
Thank
next
you very much, Bob,
president for that matter.
So
Thank you very much.
Salamat sa Britanya Ngayon on behalf of my group. On behalf of my group, the ISCO Global UK, salamat sa inyong lahat. And wag natin, mag-isip tayo, isipin natin kung sino ang pinakamagaling na presidente na candidate sa mga ito. He's visionary, he's young, he's got political will. Yun ang hahanapin nyo. Magkaroon ang isang presidente, ang isang candidate na merong political will. Salamat, Babo.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Ay, ayan na. Nakikita niyo ba? O Babo, kumusta ka?
Okay naman.
Layo ng
Parang kang na-roast, na-roast.
Inaisip ko,
Oo,
sino ba yung ini-interview? Si Babo ba o si Omar?
Ang galing actually.
Grabe.
Ang galing
Alam mo, parang
ng,
hindi
ano natin,
madali ang umupo dito at
Oo,
magsalita
of
on
course,
behalf
of
of the
Oo,
presidential
maraming salamat,
candidate.
ha?
Oo.
So, may
You're so brave,
nagpapa-shout.
Omar. You're so
May
brave.
nagpapa-shout out lang. O sige, bati muna kayo habang hinahanap ko.
Siyempre, si Alred Yalong from Chelmsford, Essex, ang nag-iisang number one pa. Nag-iisang fans ni Susan's Vlog.
Attorney Mel Velasco of
ayan.
ISCO team.
O ito, from Isko Moreno team dito sa United Kingdom. Ay sabi pa niya, pakibati ang Project TOP, John Novelo, Juan Pagaspas, Edith Fider, Jonah Felingon, Fernan de Guzman. Ayan, nakatutok po sila sa Britanya ngayon. Amy.
Lori Bell,
Of course,
Pepe,
Lori
Pepe
Bell,
Camacho, sino pa, Cecilia Roveda Villamin.
May sister. Oo, salamat sister sa pagsuporta.
Okay,
Siyempre,
sino
mga
pa ba?
fans ni yung
At saka si Rafa.
O Rafa, nasa Bournemouth,
Nasa Bournemouth.
rumarampa. O
Oo.
sige, excited na lahat kasi kababaihan na, di ba?
Okay.
O sige,
Kababaihan
ganito
na
ang
ba?
sistema natin ha. Ipapakilala ko siya, aalis ako, maiiwan kasi si Amy tsaka si Amy tsaka si Susan, ex kami ni Babu.
Okay.
So ang unang panelist natin, kilala siya sa simbahan dahil kulang na lang maging pari siya. Pero sa Pilipinas, isa siyang butihing ina na sumuporta sa kanyang mga kapatid at syempre ang anak niya nandito rin. Aktibo sa simbahan, sa Kilburn Philcham community at makakapanayam natin siya dahil isa siya sa mga hinahangaan naming babae dito sa London. Isa pong karangalan ang ipakilala ko sa inyo, ang nag-isa, Nilda Panambo.
Good afternoon, Tita Nilda. And of course,
ako na?
yes, Amy. Good afternoon, Tita.
Good afternoon, Tita.
Si Babu.
Sige, ako na nga na.
Sino papakilala ni Babo?
Si Babu talaga.
Sino yung papakilala
Okay.
mo, Babo?
Hindi siya nag-check.
Oo,
Okay,
sige, ako na lang, balik na lang ako uli. O sige, umalis ka na nga, Babu. Alis na.
Kasi naman, Carol, this is more about women eh. Ba't ba siya napunta rito?
Para na may
Ikaw
papel siya, di ba? Sayang naman yung punta niya rito. O sige, eto naman mula sa Iloilo. Nakasama namin siya sa may camera. James yan? Okay, nakasama namin siya sa NFID UK at isa siya sa mga umuupong auditor ng baka mamali CCP UK Alumni Association. Baka mamali ang di ba? Mali. Kasi di ka sabi ko, CCP. CPU, mali pa rin pala, CPU. Kasi na siya, university, no? Okay, now, Kasama namin siya sa NFIT, isa sa mga founding members, kasama rin namin siya sa Women's Voice. 25 years siya nagtatrabaho sa mga employers na ayaw namin bagitin, pero isa sa mga sikat sa United Kingdom. So ang skill niya bilang isang house manager ay talaga namang walang humpay, o di ba? Ang gumaganda at galing sa Ascot, Miss Marilyn Thompson.
Woohoo! Wow! Ascot na Ascot ang dating.
Ascot.
Nakalimutan.
Ako na o ikaw muna?
Ikaw na, Amy.
Ako
Oo.
na, okay. Ang susunod nating panelist, ito naman ay magandang dalaga. Aba, talaga.
Dalaga talaga.
Talaga magandang dalaga. Oo. She's one of the most influential Filipino solicitor here in the United Kingdom. Wow. Okay. She works at DV Solicitors, and she is the managing partner, head of litigation and family services, specialist in medical negligence and complex injury cases. At meron din po siyang regular radio program sa Pinoy Radio called Legal Advice Corner. Okay? At alam niyo po ba na law is not actually her first love? Wow. Hindi talaga. Pero, you know what happened? Ewan ko kung anong nangyari, but naging law ang profession niya. She likes to be a chef. Marunong siya magluto. Kaya dalaga yan. So yung mga mga men's dyan who is looking for someone. Ay, hindi. Okay na yon. And she's from southern part of the Philippines called Coronadal. Okay, there you are. And also, she's very, very active. She's engaging in endurance activities like rock climbing, marathons, and she's an ultra marathon finisher as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the one and only Miss Dana Quinto.
Thank you, Miss Dana Quinto. Ayan, ang kaganda ng mga dilag natin. And of course, not the least, sabi nga nila, ang haba kasi ng CV nito kaya iiksian ko na lang ang introduction. And I will forward it to you, the CV. Siyempre, nakaraang Sabado, nung Britanya Ngayon, she was actually interviewed by one of our, by Itanong kay Babo. And dahil sa in-demand ang kanyang presence at marami mga questions ng mga naka-send sa atin, ibinabalik po natin muli siya. Okay? And binabasa ko yung CV nitong ating kagalang-galang na panauhin. Isa siya sa mga magigiting na Filipina who's very good in translating English, Filipino, and other languages. Etong interesado talaga ako malaman kung ano ang tinuturo niya kasi gusto ko talagang makisapi sa'yo. Anyway, she's actually a language tutor and the founder of the Ilaw Limited in London. Kaya for those who would like to learn more about different languages, ang dami nitong tinuturo tulad na ng French, Spanish, Italian, lahat na, Nihongo, Chinese, baka pati Russian and Ukrainian language, kailangan na malaman na to But ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome back our very own Ana Luisa Enriquez Crespo. In other words, para sa maliit na in other words, maliit lang na name, let's welcome Luigi. Woo! Thank you, Luigi. Maraming salamat. Ayan.
Ayan.
Nako, Amy, tinan mo naman ang mga dilag na kaharap natin, ang katabi natin.
Talagang kagalang-galang.
Kagalang-galang.
Oo, ako natatakot dito. Baka magkakamali ako ng mga questions
No. Actually, ito, Marlene, Dana, Tita Nilda and Luigi, we're just gonna talk about things that is a normal chika-chikahan,
Yes.
okay? And Ami will introduce to you what is our going to talk about. And it is very important to everyone, especially sa mga viewers natin, na malaman ang inyong mga hinain tungkol sa halalang nangyayari at mangyayari sa May 8 or May 9 election sa Pilipinas. Take it away, Amy.
Okay. Kasi nga po, good afternoon, Britanya, and good afternoon, our viewers. As you can see, we have lovely panelists in here. The mechanics of this segment was to obviously it's the Women's Month today, so we're going to talk about what is your issue as a woman? What do you like to engage on the Philippine Halalan? So, as a woman's points of view, gusto naming malaman kung ano naman yung nararamdaman ninyo at kung gusto nyong ipahatig sa mga kandidato nating mga presidente. Okay?
I think we would like to start off with Miss Luigi.
But before
Ayan.
we do that, we can, you can,
Oo nga pala, syempre, pagsalitain muna natin.
Bumati muna sila
Luigi,
sa audience.
mag-shout out ka muna sa mga fans mo.
Shout out muna sa mga
Okay,
fans.
Luigi, yes, Luigi, go ahead.
Hello, ano na ba ngayon? Good afternoon po, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat dito sa UK at sa Europe at sa mga nasa Amerika, magandang umaga at sa Pilipinas, magandang gabi po. Salamat na madami pala kayong tanong tungkol sa akin at kaya recycled ako this week. Nandito ako ulit.
Kaya nga binabalikan namin, Luigi, kasi marami mga katanungan na na-receive namin from your first interview with Babo. So, kasi kahanga-hanga yung achievement mo bilang language tutor or interpreter. More on tutor. And we will talk more about that Ilaw Limited later on. But in the meantime, I think we would like to talk about the halalan.
Halalan, yes.
And syempre, Tita Nilda would like to say something. Say hello naman sa mga fans
Shout
mo.
out Antipolo, Kogyo, and Pilcham Kilburn. Woo! Mapagpalang hapon po sa lahat sa Pilipinas. Siyempre UK at sa buong mundo. Maraming salamat po sa pagtangkilik niyo sa Britanya Laban Lang. At binabati rin po namin in behalf of Pilcham Kilburn, si Ma'am Attorney Ami Balyao sa kanyang graduation.
Graduation, di ba? natin yung mamaya.
Ganun ba yan?
Ayan.
Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita. Nanawa kung ano man yung katanungan nyo ay may translator ako. Because my English is good but not very good.
Now,
Of course.
Miss Dana Quinto.
Hello, good afternoon. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Sa tanan ng mga Ilonggo, maayong hapon. Sa inyo tanan dira, may dalawa kaming Ilonggo dito. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Nakakatuwa. Parang umiwi lang ng Pilipinas eh. And it's like talking to, mga kababayan natin. Parang andun lang tayo sa bahay na nakikipag-usap na we're talking about things that matters to us, to our family. We may not have the same opinion, but the most important thing is that we're talking about it.
Yes.
And we're talking about it in an open manner. And that's, for me, that's very, very nice. And thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Oo.
Thank you.
Sabi nga, itong, thank you very much, Dana. Sabi nga nitong isang i-introduce natin na guest, parang pang Miss Universe yung mga katanungan natin, Miss Amy. Okay, none other than Marilyn Thompson.
Yes.
Hello po sa lahat. Maayong gabi sa tanan ng mga Ilonggo. Good afternoon. No, maayong gabi. And good afternoon UK and kung saan man kayo sa mundo. And maayong adlaw sa tanan. And what else? Yeah. Thank you Britanya Ngayon for having me. And that's it. Congratulations, attorney. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I can say.
Makalimutan eh.
Okay,
It's actually It's actually, I just want to clarify this. I had my degree 2 years ago, but because of COVID pandemics, the Open University did the graduation rites yesterday. So that's the reasons why nakikita niyo sa Facebook na nakatoga ako.
It's important na we're celebrating these milestones and empowering women like
This is an achievement for women. Yes,
That's why we call it today Women's Power.
Yes, that's right. That's
Today we're
right.
talking about women power. So Miss Amy, anong una nating katanungan?
Ito na ngayon. Ito yung pang Miss Universe daw na katanungan. Pero as a panelist, this is just a simple questions. And, as you said, chika-chika lang tayo dito. So, there's no right and wrong answers dito.
At wala tayong ini-endorso ditong mga
Wala tayong
presidential
wala
candidates,
talaga.
ha?
Pantay-pantay tayo rito.
Mapapula, maparosas, mapadilaw, mapa-neutral lang tayo. Okay.
It's the women's points of view. So, it's points of view of women.
Okay.
Okay, ngayon, the first question, ladies, is how important for you as a woman to participate on this halalan endeavor? Ayun, madali lang yan. Oh.
Can we start off with Miss Luigi?
Yeah, we can start
Okay.
with Miss Luigi.
Kailangan muna nating tanungin yung pinakamaraming achievement daw, sabi nila.
Kung ganun hindi, dapat ang abogado. The linguistic woman.
Why is it important to participate in this panel, basically, no? Obviously, for our different women's views and voices to be heard. And what can we take out from this experience is that if you have the right to vote, go out and vote. Yeah?
Yes.
Basically. Exercise that right. Because, women fought for the right to vote. So that should not go to waste. Yeah?
That's right.
Okay, that's true. We exercise your vote.
Yeah.
Oo, tama yan.
Yan yung pinaka-importante dito kasi as women,
Di ba, centuries ago, here in the United Kingdom, women are not allowed to vote, but they are the one who actually did the activist, saying, women's right, dapat din na bumoto tayo. So, yes, that's
correct.
Panindigan, di ba? Panindigan mo yung ating karapatan na bumoto.
Yes.
Pakinggan naman natin yung mga taga-Kilburn, represented by Tita Nilda Panambo.
Yes.
Para po sa akin, bilang isang Pilipino, karapatan po nating lahat ipahayag ang ating karapatan upang bumoto, iluklok kung sino man ang nararapat. Pero yan po ay madadala po sa ating mga obserbasyon sa kanilang lahat. Salamat po.
How about Dana?
Yes,
Dana,
Miss
can we hear from your point of view?
i-join i-augment ko lang din yung point of view ko. So, not just right to vote, but also the right to be heard, the right to take a space, the right to voice out your opinion. So, I get excited when people have different opinions. I get excited when people tell it out loud because that's when lahat ng pwedeng solusyon sa problema, we're flushing it out. So we're all collectively trying to solve a problem, especially from a woman's point of view. So pag hindi natin nasabi, or we won't make it aware, then hindi malalagyan ng spotlight yung talagang kailangang sulbahin. So more than that, it's quite important to also debate about it, to tell this is my issue, this is how I think it should be done. It may not necessarily be how you want it to be done, but then pag 5, 10, or 90 million yung magbibigay ng solusyon, potentially we could find the best solution out of all of those.
Excellent. Yes, tama po yun.
Parang Amy, Amy solution lang, ano?
Yes.
Amy Marco solution.
That is the most important part of a dialogue. We must have a dialogue. We have to communicate, open-minded, as Miss Dana Quinto has said.
I think may ano kami dito I think from yung culture namin may pinagalitan kami hindi kami, I think generally yung lawyers when they bicker, so a judge said, so how is that solving the problem? So yun yung pinaka takeaway ko dun when people are having a debate. Have a debate, but have a debate with a view of solving the problem. So not necessarily kung saan kang, saan kang party. I think what's most important, alam naman natin ngayon na nasa krisis lahat ng mundo. I think that's the reason why it's most important than ever. And for me ngayon, you have women vying for top positions in the country. It's very, very important to see glass ceilings being crushed. It's important for younger generation to know that that's a given. Hindi na yan exemption, hindi yan extraordinary. It has to be a default from now on. So that's, yun lang yung 2 pence ko.
Thank you, Ms. Dana Quinto. Now, the only one, the voice of women's officer.
Okay. May masasabi pa ba ako? Parang nasabi na nilang lahat eh.
Hindi, i-copy-paste mo na lang kaya, Marlene.
Pwede naman makopya, di ba?
Ano, yeah, exactly. Napakahalaga po ng boses ng katulad nating mga babae para mahalaga ito yung pag-uusapan natin to air out yung masasabi natin, maipahayag natin sa loobin natin. At yung kung marami tayo, maraming boses, collective ways, mapapansin. So yung halalan na ito, ang pag-uusap na ito, sana mapansin to at to go much farther.
Oo, tama yun.
Tama.
You know what, follow-up question lang, ano?
Yes.
Ito mga naging usap-usapan natin, how would you influence naman the people or your friends na to participate in halalan as a women? Luigi? Since you're just next to me. How would you influence? How would you...
Ikaw yung pinakamalapit siya.
Hindi, sabi nga, ikaw daw ang smarter eh.
Hindi. Mukhang smart looking lang.
Okay.
Baka lang, no? Baka nga.
Baka lang.
No, how do you influence? I don't think that I could influence anybody in reality.
Okay.
And I think that what is very important is that we're committed to being decent, to being respectful, and to honor each other. We all have different opinions. Yeah. So whoever you're voting for shouldn't affect me personally. I shouldn't get angry or upset about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's an exercise of being respectful.
Yes.
Yeah. And nowadays it's very difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't need to tell anybody who I'm voting for because as far as I'm concerned, the vote is sacred. So that only affects me. And I vote with my conscience and who I think is correct. So I will not go around saying like vote for this or that candidate. I just respect you and honor you. That's it, basically.
Maganda yun, ano? She doesn't want to, she may get involved, but she doesn't want to influence people kung sino ang iboboto. Dahil sa kanya, para sa kanya, sacred ang boto mo.
Yes. We will never agree. Nobody will ever agree on a topic. Yeah, that's what, as Dana was saying, we need to engage in conversation. We'll never agree on one thing.
Yes.
Who's the best? For you, you have reached a decision about this candidate for personal reasons or because of your experience. My experience is very different from yours. So I can't expect you to be voting like me.
Correct.
And why would I try to upset or upset somebody saying like, oh, I'm voting for this person? No use.
So hindi ka kasama doon sa mga social media na nakikipagdaktakan doon, ano?
Not really, because I don't have time, no?
You don't have time?
I'm still undecided. So I still have to do my research.
Okay.
Yeah, and I still have time.
And and this is the reasons that we are here, because of that discussion, and we can learn from each other, but not necessarily na susundin natin kung anong gusto ni Marlene or anong gusto ni Dana. So as your question, ito na yung nangyayari na we talk about it, we participate on a dialogue and respect each other's opinion.
Correct. Si Tita Nilda, gusto ko lang malaman kung ano naman ang opinion mo.
Para sa akin, kasi karapatan nating lahat yun eh. So, may kanya-kanya tayong gusto at meron tayong ayaw. Pero para sa akin siguro, the best, pag-aralan natin, magbasa tayo, suriin natin ang bawat isa kung sino ba talaga ang karapat-dapat. Pero lahat naman yan karapat-dapat eh, kaya nga tumakbo eh. Kaya lang, mamimili tayo.
Alright.
Malcolm, sorry, I cannot speak English. Nosebleed.
Oo.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can translate my my English because it's not good, but not, you know.
Siya yung tunay na tita, come on.
Yun lang po.
Ganda-ganda ng
Dahil
Tagalog
napakaraming lumalabas. Ang hindi lang talaga maganda, sabi nga, politics is a dirty business. English yun, ha?
Yes, yes.
English yun. Pero, ganun pa man, lahat gustong manungkulan. Sana lahat ay tapat sa bayan at may takot sa Diyos para umunlad ang ating bansang Pilipinas. Yun lang po.
Amen. Woohoo! Okay. Ang ating lawyer naman, Miss Dana Quinto, ano naman ang masasabi mo? What will be your follow-up in that question?
Ang nakakatuwa is lahat ng tao dito can agree on one thing, that we are expecting the best out of all of these people. We're looking at them for a positive result. We're not looking at this with a sinister eye. Whether, I respect that, Luigi, na you want to keep that sacred. I'm not necessarily persuading other friends to vote, one way or the other. But if other people want to persuade equally, that's their right, their free speech, their right to have a conversation. I think the most important thing in any dialogue is to listen. In order for you to be heard, you have to be able to lend an ear as well. And I think if we all do that, makikita natin na ay, ang dami pala nating similarities, no? Pare-pareho lang pala yung expectation natin na tapat yung maboboto natin, that they'll get us a better 6 years, na hindi na ganun kalakas yung COVID sa Pilipinas dahil lahat tayo may mga kamag-anak doon. And hopefully, the economy will be a bit better. Lahat tayo yung basic na expectation natin pare-pareho. How a candidate delivers that and how we interpret their platform, as you said, is a subjective point. But equally, if you want to go and persuade, by all means, go and persuade. But I think in order to persuade other people, you'll have to listen as well. And when you lend that respect to their position, mas mataas yung chances mo na ibabalik yung respeto sa'yo.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, Madam Marilyn?
Wala na naman ako sasabihin.
Nasink in mo na ba?
Copy-paste na naman ulit. Okay.
Dapat si Marilyn
Okay.
na pagkatapos.
Pagano naman, di ba? Parang
Si Marilyn, tapos
Hindi kasi gusto ko sanang kopyahin yun kasi kaso lang no, I was just joking. I do campaign for the candidate that I believe in, but quietly. I'm not like on the social media that vote for, because I believe that if I campaign for what I believe in, then baka
You might influence someone.
I might influence someone.
Yes.
Tama. Kasi yung pagboto, karapatan nating lahat ng mga Pilipino. And ano ba yung right term? Okay.
Sige, Bisaya, pwede.
Bisaya, Marlene, pwede.
Ang hirap magtagalog.
It's funny, Marlene. Kasi I just, sa pamilya namin, may isang kandidato na gusto niya, yung isa naman ayaw niya. So, sa isang pamilya, merong mga nagdidiskusyones, no?
Yeah.
So, paano mo impluwensyahan yung kamag-anak mong yun?
First, you need to study.
Okay.
Yung sa kandidato mo, dapat pagstudihan mo. Ano yung maiambag nila. Maibigay na tulong. Hindi lang sa isang tawag dito sa isang industry, sa buong Pilipinas. At saka yung mga plataforma nila, dapat natin tingnan. Kung baga, I can't even say it in Tagalog. Okay. Bisayahin.
Bisayain mo. Oo.
Kasi pag lahat sa atin na magiging educated about our candidate, then madali lang mag-explain. Madali lang mag-explain sa kung sino man ang nagiging
gusto nilang magiging presidente o yung gusto nilang bubotohan. Yun.
Tama. Kanya talaga mga taga-askot hindi nila ma-express masyado. Kasi
Royal doon.
okay, so royal ang dating ni ano,
we need to do this because obviously our time is very limited. So the next question would be ikaw na ngayon para sa
Para kami naman
Mangungopia. Ako po kopya dyan.
Okay, this is so what is your aspiration for the president? Kung sino yung magiging presidente, ano yung aspiration mo para sa kanya? Ano yung gusto mong makita para
Yung gusto kong makita, bukod sa ng korupsyon, which is a big issue in the Philippines, yung sa pangkaramihan ba na maibigay yung pangangailangan, lalo na most especially yung mga nasa salat na pamumuhay. Yun ang dapat na pagbigyan pansin ng magiging pangulo natin. Well, hindi ako politikadong tao pero tawag dito yung mga hinaing na dapat na pakinggan ang lahat ng mga hinaing, especially nung mga yung ibig kong sabihin yung mga nasa salat sa mga suborb. Kailangan talaga natin yun.
napakinggan ng
ating kung sino mang mananalo.
Okay. And Miss Dana?
Siguro, and this is personal opinion, that she'll be a force of unity, of healing,
Yes.
rather than division. Na they'll be able to do what they think is right. Because ako, hindi ko alam eh. I've never worked in a government. I don't know how complex the decision makings are. But I can only hope that when they make decisions that will affect me, yung parents ko, yung mga kamag-anak ko, that they'll be doing it from a point of conscientiousness, na may integrity, and that they'll listen to Filipinos, whether those Filipinos voted for them or not.
Yes.
I think it's quite important na, as you said, may problem solving, may triage kung ano man yung pinaka-crisis, that the focus goes back to that. And most importantly, na may legacy sila, regardless ng politics, that you'll be able to have a legacy no matter what the politics shall be after that or during that. And they'll be able to, after the election, still come out with a conscience that's clear. That's
Correct. Yes. To give that a brief note, they need to be a statement, and everything that they do must be just and fair. I think that's what the essence is there. Tita Nilda?
Sino ba kokopyahin natin doon?
Kukopyahin kita.
all of the
English.
Aspiration. Ano yun? Hangad? Anong magiging hangad natin sa mananalong Pangulo ng Pilipinas? Para sa akin, isa lang eh. Hindi pala isa. Marami. Pero i-ano lang natin, i-summarize lang. English yun. Una, sana, dahil puro babae kami rito, at mga nanay at nanay-to-be, maging pantay-pantay ang pagtingin sa kababaihan. Kasi parang lumalabas, alam ko, kaming mga babae, mahina, pero ang lakas namin ay iba rin sa mga lalaki. Para sa akin, okay na mamuno ang lalaki, katulong ang babae. Pero, dahil ang lalaki, ang lalaki pag nagdesisyon, strong, paninindigan, ang babae nag-iisip bago magdesisyon. Nagiging problema lang naming mga babae, mahina kami kasi sumusunod pa rin kami sa lalaki. Ganun pa man, sana ang mananalong Pangulo ng Pilipinas, babae man o lalaki, ay gawin pong pantay-pantay ang karapatan ng babae at lalaki, lalong-lalo na sa trabaho, sa salary. Kasi mostly pagka babae ka, parang liit ng sweldo mo eh. Buti na lang nandito kami sa UK. O, di ba?
So in other words, equality.
Equality, yes.
Okay.
Equality. Salamat po.
Thank you.
Luigi, sinong kokopyahin mo?
Tekang hirap.
Oo.
Mukhang imbento na lang ako.
I-translate.
Parang nawala sa lahat ng hirap i-translate yun. Teka nga, mag-isip na lang. So, aspirations, no? So, hindi ako sigurado about that. But I do want a leader who will be a good negotiator, as well as somebody who's has compassion, and obviously good in finance. What would I wish for after elections? Basically, I wish that whoever wins, whether it's your candidate, my candidate, whoever wins, that we're all behind this person, because I think it's very important, and we all have that. We have love of country. Yeah, that's the reason we're voting, is because we love our country. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So there is that love of country. So let's, after the election, let's support whoever wins. Let's love our country and not love the candidate. Okay?
Okay.
Love the country, unity, respect, justice, equality, ano pa?
Marami na. So what we're going to do this quickly because we're running out of time.
Of course.
Okay. Our floor manager there, floor director, is telling us that, you know,
You have 10 minutes.
yeah, we have 10 minutes.
Okay.
So quickly. So we're going to ask questions. So maybe just a minute or even 30 seconds. This is the third question. If you were in the position to hold the highest office role of the land, how will you govern, and what will be your platform for women? So ngayon, si Tita Nilda mauna.
Hindi, nasabi ko na eh. Kailangan maging pantay-pantay. Kasi, hindi pwedeng, kasi na, parang nasa abroad. Tayo rito, pantay-pantay. Wala rito, may pinag-aralan ka man o wala. Ang wages dito, pare-pareho. Ewan ko sa iba, kasi kaming mga maralitang manggagawa sa bahay. We're very blessed and happy dahil maganda po ang pasweldo sa amin dito sa bansang ito. Sana maging ganun sa Pilipinas na yung kung ano man yung kasarian, kulay o kalagayan, maging pantay-pantay po tayo. Kasi napakakawawa talaga yung mga nasa mababa.
Okay.
Yun lang po.
Iangat ang sweldo. Parang ganun.
Lahat iangat. Pandak lang ang hindi.
Sandali ha, naka-heels ako ha. Luigi,
do you want to...
nga yung tanong eh. kasi I agree. Fully, I agree with Tita.
Okay, the tanong is, if you hold the highest position, the highest office role of the land, you know, kung ikaw, for example, ang magiging presidente, how will you govern, and what will be your platform?
How will you govern? As a dictator? Humanitarian though. But I'm not sure. It's a very tough question. But I think that, like Tita said, no, equality, that's very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms.
Dana, you wanna add on this? Yeah?
I-join there ko ulit kay Tita kasi from experience, ang economic empowerment and education empowerment, from experience dito, women who stuck in abusive relationship, most of the time the reason is hindi economically weaker sila. They can't get out because of money, because they're not earning enough, or hindi pantay yung mga sweldo. May mga relationship generated disadvantage because they had to give up a career to start a family. So kung yung mga either stay-at-home moms are raising, or any types of mothers, if they can be given some sort of economic empowerment, para if ever they get to a point na kailangan nilang umalis, and talagang kailangan for health and safety, that they get to do that, na hindi sila sa stop ng money, ng resources. That's on a problem solving. Yun lang yung nakikita ko as a family lawyer. That's always one thing that stops people from leaving abusive relationships. So if the focus can be on empowering those people, the women at home, to have that option, I think that would really be helpful.
Okay. Amy, do you have any more questions pa ba?
Marami
Okay. Marlene, do you wanna follow up that? Yeah?
Gusto ko lang kung akong magiging Pangulo. Like, gusto kong magkaisa na lang lahat.
Oo, tama.
No
Sino bang
grudges
ayaw
hold.
magkaisa, di ba?
Oo.
Lahat na matatanda na
Maraming
tayo
nagsasabi na magkaisa
Oo.
pero hindi naman ginagawa.
Yes.
Unity.
English yun, unity, di ba?
Unity.
Oo, linguistic. But Amy, maybe do we have any questions from the audience?
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Malcolm, Alan, our two beautiful guests here. Would you like to ask questions sa mga panelists natin? Baka marinig ang iyong boses. Yes, Malcolm.
I do have a strong question, a question that's a really important question to me, and I believe in the power of women, the strength of women, and I believe that women need to be much better represented within the Philippines. I think it's very, very important, and I know there have been some very important women in politics in the past, and do you think it's time for there to be a strong woman in any capacity in leadership in the Philippines, and why?
Wow. So, Malcolm, are you referring to the presidency? Either.
But president, vice president,
General.
within a national position, I think there needs to be more women representation. And what can you say about that?
It's nice to be...
Anyone?
I'm sorry.
Anyone, please?
It's nice to be represented by a woman, as a woman. But in order for you to represent the whole country, you need to be a good role model. That's it, really.
Okay.
That people will listen to you.
I think that in our culture, we have women do have a very strong influence. You start with your mom. In our families, it's quite matriarchal. So I don't think gender is an issue, whether the next president or vice president is a man or a woman. I think in this day and age, I think we're beyond that. Somebody who can do the job properly is what we need, basically. Yeah.
I totally agree. However, not that I'm disagreeing on saying that it should be a given, but I think there's always going to be, there's a reason why we look at the vice presidential candidates, the presidential candidates, it's 1 out of 10. And what we need is not, and you're right, it has to be a competent person. But what I'm personally hoping is that I know there's a lot of very competent women in the Philippines.
Yes.
And I'm really hoping that more competent women in the Philippines will just say, yeah, go on, I'll have a go.
Yeah.
And that's for me, that's just a personal opinion. It's regardless of where you are, just have a go.
Yes.
Because just, make it 5 out of 10. Make it or more. As long as you are competent, as long as you can deliver, go for it.
I like that. Just have a go.
All right.
Just have a go and make it happen.
Tita Nilda, is there any quick answer?
Quick lang, pero bilang isang faith-based community, we always pray. Babae man o lalaki, we don't mention a name na kung sino man ang ilalagay ng ating Panginoon, nasa sa Kanya po. Pero hindi ito si Lord to, si Lord
Okay, Amy.
Nasa Kanya, yun lang po.
The next
Amy,
next.
Babae man o lalaki.
Question from the audience. Hold on a second.
I'm just going to ask, in your own opinion, what do you think is the 3 most important traits of a good president? Not mentioning the to unite everyone, because I think that's totally, if it's not difficult, totally impossible.
Ako na sasagot mo. Mabilis lang yan.
Okay, Tita.
Ayan, mga kababayan.
Makabayan, makadiyos, makatao.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. One more. Marlene? Yes, Marlene?
Tsaka hindi na kailangan natin may puso, pero hindi lahat puso ang kailangan. Kailangan din ito, otak. Dapat marunong.
Yes.
Yun ang dapat.
Hindi lutang.
Okay.
Hindi ka, kailangan may utak.
Hindi sa...
Okay, next please. Next please. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll go to the next question. So what the next question is, what action do you want to see from the president on issues such as women's welfare, example, divorce or empowerment, and why?
Ayan, Luigi would like to answer that question.
Yes.
Definitely divorce. Definitely divorce, because we should have it, honestly, in this day and age. It's very sad that we still don't have it. It really affects not only women's lives, everybody's lives. Lahat ng kamag-anak natin, right? So yeah, definitely divorce.
Divorce, okay.
I'm just
Tana?
gonna quickly agree with that. Economic empowerment tsaka divorce, purely because dun sa sinabi ko din kanina. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but that's my 2 pence as a professional here in the UK, but personal opinion nonetheless.
Okay, personal opinion ninyo yung dalawa yan. How about Tita Nilda, from your point of view? Kasi alam ko...
Oo nga kasi mahirap faith-based community ka tapos sasabihin mo divorce din. Ako divorce, anyway, wala pang divorce sa atin, meron mga annulment, it's the same. Ang ano na lang siguro niyan na pagka agrabyado talaga ang babae, kailangan talagang maghiwalay. Yun lang po.
So depende sa kaso?
Yes.
Okay.
Hindi divorce ka kasi may nakita kang gwapo. Maganda.
Oo, no? Oo, tama, Tita Nilda. Marlene,
Para
would you like to
maiba
add?
naman, education.
Education, okay.
Yun ang kailangan natin.
Ayan. Ang ganda ng mga pinag-uusapan natin, Amy.
Yes.
Dahil we have a limited time, we would like to ask one each of them, to say something kung meron silang next event or meron silang gustong gawin sa buhay. Baka meron silang mga racket or something. Marilyn, do you wanna say something? Bago tayo magtapos? Sa Ascot? I'm sure kasi, hello, spring na, summer na, kaya maraming mga events sa Ascot.
Coming on July.
Sa July. July is the month for the Ascot.
For the Ascot.
Okay. Anyayahan mo sila, Marlene.
Si Queen. Hanggang labas lang.
Oo. Kakaway-kaway.
On behalf of the Queen, come and visit Ascot.
All right, Your Majesty. How about Dana? Do you have anything to say to
No,
the
just want to
viewers?
say thank you for inviting me. Nakakatawa, nakaka-proud lahat ng Pilipino na talagang may opinion. I'm proud of that. I'm
Yes.
proud na ang Pilipino ay vocal about, about what they, not necessarily politics, but about community, supporting community. So,
That's right.
Nakakatuwa po umuwi dito.
Tama. Kaya nandito ang Britanya ngayon para sa ating mga Filipino viewers, ating mga Filipino friends. Itong plataforma nila para makapag-salita, ma-voice out nila kung anong kanilang mga hinain or mga opinion. We're open to the public, Filipino
Nakakatuwa
public.
to meet everyone here. And,
Of course.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. And Tita Nilda?
Maiksi lang po. Every Sunday, imbitado kayo, kung may time kayo, 3 o'clock, meron po kaming praise and worship sa Kilburn because faith-based community, lahat po ay welcome. 3 o'clock. Salamat po.
Thank you. And of course, our translator, walang iba, Miss Luigi Crespo.
Salamat unang-una sa Britanya Ngayon kasi nakilala ko itong mga magagaling na mga babae na kababaihan. Maraming salamat. So, ang promotion ko lang, if you want to learn Tagalog or Filipino, our next term will be starting in May. So, just get in touch. Maraming salamat.
Okay, how can they get in touch with you, Luigi?
You could do it through our website, www.ilaw-ltd.com.
Ayan, maraming salamat po mga ladies sa Women Power for today. At mamaya makikita-kita ulit tayo dahil I think magkakaroon tayo ng konting salo-salo.
Yes.
Uy,
Para
meron pa
sa-
pala. Pala namin, tapos
Oo.
na.
Yes,
So wag po
yes,
kayo nga alis at antabayanan ninyo dahil ito na ang kaabang-abang para sa Britanya Ngayon live today, Saturday, sa mga ating Filipino viewers, mga viewers natin sa iba't ibang sulok ng bansa, ng mundo, mapasaan man kayo dahil itong ating susunod na guest, he has been all over in social media. Ayan na. Siya yata ang king of social media.
Yes.
And but prior to his popularity, he fell in love with his wife, of course, a Filipina like us, and his love for the Philippines have grown deeper. Okay? So, known for his love for our country, An Englishman or British man with Pinoy heart. Rolls of Sea with Malcolm Conlan when we come back. Tutok lang!
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Where's the camera ba? Nalito na ako. Ayon. And then Malcolm will face where? Malcolm, that's your camera. Okay. So, back to Britanya ngayon at maraming salamat sa aming mga women panelists. Talaga naman nakikinig ako. Ang gaganda ng kanilang mga sinasabi. And now, sorry Tita Nilda, this will be a straight English because Malcolm will not understand Tagalog. That's why, Luigi, we need your help with Malcolm. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Britanya ngayon, let's all welcome and give a cheer, Mr. Malcolm Conlan.
Maraming salamat po sa invitation sa interview. And magandang hapon, magandang gabi Pilipinas, magandang umaga, depending where you are buong mundo. Is that okay?
Oh, wonderful, di ba? Okay. Now, sana pagka nag-uusap na kami, medyo i-wide na kasi baka masyado akong wide. Nasa ba si cameraman? Ayan. So, Malcolm, actually, we're very careful in this episode because we all know that Malcolm is an influencer. But we're not talking about too much politics here because Malcolm, we want to know you more, okay? Because it is very, not unlikely, but it is very inspiring that an Englishman, a British man, is tagged as having a Pinoy heart. So where this all started, Malcolm?
I have told this story a few times before online in various interviews, but just to let everybody know,
a refresher for all of us.
A refresher. I went to the Philippines when I was 18. I was a massive fan of Miss Saigon, the musical, in Drury Lane. And I'd watched the show probably about 5 or 6 times. And I picked up a souvenir program.
Yeah.
And these were the days before social media, before really the internet. So I realized there was this place called the Philippines, and there were some wonderful cast members, Lea Salonga, Coco Laurel,
Monique Wilson. Yeah.
And you know about my kind of, if you like, passion for acting. So I went to Mount View Theatre School. I was passionate about acting.
Are you, at that time, are you single?
Yeah, I was single.
Oh, okay.
And I've probably told this story before, but I guess I had an admiration for Monique Wilson, who played the second Kim.
Yeah.
And I went to see her lots of times, Janine Desidero, Monique.
And Eva Nobles, yeah.
And no, this was long before Eva was even born. So yeah, I had a passion for the Philippines, and I wanted to basically find out more about the Philippines. So I flew to Manila, like 7,000 miles away from the UK.
So how many islands are there in the Philippines?
7,500.
Wow! Okay, di ba?
But actually, there's 7,634, I think, to be exact, depending on high tide or low tide.
Oh! You see how well versed he is with the Philippine culture. Okay, Malcolm, when you first visited Manila or the Philippines, what is the place that you first landed on?
You know what? I went to the capital. I didn't really know about any of the islands at that time. And I was struck by the massive divide between rich and poor. And I found it incredibly sad. And I remember at the time there was some kid and she was running across the road and she was selling bulaklak and she nearly kind of got run over. And that kind of made me really, really think deeply about the country and the struggles of the Filipino people. And if you like, I wanted to give my heart to the country. And to be honest with you, forget about politics. I'm not here because of politics. I'm here, and people will say he's not telling the truth. We don't believe him. But I'm here because I fell in love with the Philippines, with the Filipino people. And I believe
think,
passionately
Malcolm,
about the country.
I don't want to cut you, but that was Luigi's statement a while ago. So whoever wins in this coming election, the first thing that we have to bear in mind is that we should love our country. And here is a British guy, an Englishman who loves our country very much. So Malcolm, continue. So when you were there in the Philippines, so you were saddened by the situation that we know what we have. But at that time you're single. Is that where you find your wife or not yet? Because you're too young at that time. Reminisce now.
You know what? I've fallen in love with the traits of the Filipino. In that they are hardworking, they're caring, they're compassionate, they have a love for family. You know, it's a very important trait to send money back home to the Philippines, and I think that's so important. I think sometimes, for example, a Filipino might marry a Brit or a foreigner, and they might say, we need the money for ourselves and everything. But I strongly believe that when you marry someone from the Philippines, you have to understand the reason why they left the Philippines in the first place was to support their family, and that needs to continue. I'm not saying I particularly like the fact that Filipinos have to go abroad in order to survive. I don't like that at all, but I understand it. But me as a family, it's very important that I grow to love my wife's family. I appreciate them. I support them as much as I can, because that for me is so important. You know, a lot of Filipinos here for economic reasons. I still get very upset when I hear about families being split up. For example, they would come abroad and they'd leave the children with the grandparents, and there's so much distance between families, and that breaks my heart. And I really hope the next president, whoever he or she may be, bears that in mind. And again, I really hope we'll see a day when leaving the Philippines to go abroad, as President Gloria said before, would be a choice and not a necessity.
I agree with that, because even when I communicate with my siblings in the Philippines, I often tell them, come on, apply in the UK. But you know what they're telling me? She just said to me, like, you know, we will be there to visit at the moment. You know, it's nice to hear this word because they have a choice not to come here. It's not their necessity. It's not because they have a lot of things, but definitely it's their choice. Now, Malcolm, is that a passion for the Philippines? And then you tell me you fell in love with the traits of the Filipinas. Is that what makes you decide to choose a Filipina to become, you know, for better or worse, till death do us part? Thank you.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, you know, I always wanted to be part of a Filipino family. I always wanted to marry somebody and love someone from the Philippines, because I love the characteristics of the Filipino, maybe their accent, their personality, and everything about them. And you know what? I was introduced to my wife in the UK. At a party, so I met her here in the UK. But you know what? We've been married for more than 25 years now, and I have to say she's very strong, she's very loyal, she's supportive, she's resourceful, she's hardworking, she's caring. I can't begin to give the amount of traits, and I'm incredibly proud and incredibly lucky. And despite what people say, it's an absolute privilege, honor, to be married to somebody from the Philippines, but also to have a family back home in the Philippines. You know, people say to me, why are you so interested in politics? Why are you so interested in the country?
Yeah, that will be my next question to you.
And to answer to that, it's because my family are there. I have godchildren there going to school in the Philippines. I've experienced the healthcare. I've been supporting my family through PhilHealth the last 25 years, so I understand about PhilHealth. We've had family having surgery. I can't tell you my in-depth involvement in the Philippines in terms of also supporting the country, supporting the people. I get messages every day from Filipinos in difficulties from across the world. So I do feel that I'm deeply associated with the Philippines. And regardless of people say I'm a foreigner, I'm a white man, I'm Gaga or whatever, the fact is I've gone home more than 50 times, and I've probably been to the Philippines more than they have. And that's the point.
Malcolm, that's true. Because many Filipinos are sometimes said to be parang foreigner in our own land. And then Malcolm, how many places in the Philippines so far have you visited? Just I know many, but at least you.
I'm very blessed. A particular property company before helped me to go out to the Philippines. I was able to visit Boracay. I was able to visit around on a bit of a tour of the Philippines.
I think we're together there.
We were together, and we had drinks on the beach, and we had the most.
Yeah, we have all the perks.
We had the most amazing time, and of course with the late Cynthia Barker, of course,
Yes,
who I remember very, very fondly. We went out together for an evening, and I'd like to, may she rest in
Malcolm,
peace.
I well remember the trip of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, I never thought that Malcolm is that influential at that time because there was a typhoon in the Philippines. So our flights were rescheduled, were delayed. And when we were there in the port, we were trying to get the ferry going to somewhere, and then Malcolm approached the people in the ticketing office because, of course, first come first serve. And then when he started talking, okay, I'm a blogger, I'm with Councilor Barker, I'm with Carol, and honestly, boom, we are on the ferry. That's Malcolm.
Yeah. The thing is, I would never sort of make anything from my social media other than to support people, because I've been able to help at least 4 or 5 families. I've been able to get, there was a young girl in Egypt who didn't have any citizenship. And the mother was in a lot of trouble, was about to be arrested. And through a campaign I did on social media, through the help of the embassy, the Department of Foreign Affairs, who contacted me personally when they heard the story, she then got her Philippine citizenship, and as did a mother acquire her Filipino citizenship. That's another story. There was an American guy who was also Filipino who was trapped in America and couldn't get back to the Philippines. So I did a social media campaign. He was approached by the government, and he was helped to go back to the Philippines. Another story about a Filipina in Cebu who was actually suicidal. And through these conversations I had with her for a long time, she was able to separate from her husband. She was able to get help and support and be able to feel better about herself and move to another part of the Philippines. I'm not trying to take pride. I'm not trying to take credit. I'm not trying to take satisfaction. What I'm here to say is my social media presence, my leverage enables for me to help people. And whatever I think about politics, the fact is I'm in social media not for financial gain. I've never made 1 penny out of social media. I'm in social media to help Filipinos, and I don't care what people say about me. I feel I have this passion, this spirit of the Philippines, and that's what I do.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Oh my God, that's a powerful statement. So I hope, Dana Quinto, you see, Malcolm Conlon was able to help our Filipina kababayan getting their passport. By the way, Malcolm, I know you are very, very popular when it comes to open letter. Okay, let's talk about it because, I hope I can be like him, that I will be that articulate, that aggressive. If I see something that needs to be done, I will not go on street and shout, but I will use the power of the pen to write to the authorities, like Malcolm Conlon did, which is becoming very popular to us Filipinos. Tell us about the open letter that you're always doing.
So the first open letter I wrote was to a lady called, well, I won't mention her name now, but it was supporting.
No mention of name.
It was supporting Megan Young, Miss World before, and there was a lady who was bashing Megan, talking about Filipinos cleaning toilets and everything else, and how dirty they were. So I restarted my letter, "Dear Ma'am." And that's the point, it's about having respect. It's very easy to go to social media. It's very easy, for example, to swear at me and to criticize me. When somebody from the opposition party or one of the supporters would write to me in a dignified way, I'll debate with them. I'll find a common ground. That's the point. How can you constantly bash people, swear at people? If we are more dignified, if we're more civil, I think we can make a change. I've written to the Prime Minister of Singapore, and his office has actually written back to me. There was a time where somebody was actually being racist towards the Filipino people. I think it was called the 5 traits or whatever. And I actually got an apology, and I believe that led to that person's deportation. I was actually contacted by the Philippine government government and told that we were considering deporting him. So thank you for your letter. So, these letters do make a change, and my social media influence can bring about that change. I'm never rude. I'm always polite. I'm always respectful. Some people say to me, maybe you're being too respectful, even I have to say there was a particular celebrity recently who's appeared very frail and very sick. And the thing is,
we know, everybody knows her. Okay.
Yeah, but I won't mention her name.
Of course.
But all I'll say is that I wrote a letter to her. And basically,
her friend responded.
And a friend, a very well-known big celebrity, gave me some hearts. And that's the point. You can reach out, you can find a common ground. And I do wish sincere good wishes to people. Anybody wishing another person's dead, as I'm a Christian, I believe in pray for your leaders. I believe in supporting your favorite candidate, praying for them, not wishing anyone dead, not wishing anyone ill, because we know what happened to people who've done that with the past, with the outgoing president. So as far as I'm concerned, prayer is so important, and bashing and swearing doesn't lead to anything.
Malcolm, is there any instance, because you're always attending Filipino community events, and during the last election, really it's there are some intrigues, but how do you feel sometimes whenever you attend a Filipino community event and then you can see one of the person who's bashing you? How do you feel, and how do you overcome that?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I feel very, very proud when I hear the national anthem, and I fully believe we should stand up. I've been in a big festival and I've seen some Brits kind of sitting down. I give them the dirtiest look ever, because I believe it's about respect, isn't it? And I believe that if I can respect others, then people should be able to respect me. Not necessarily agree with my views, but I do think respect is so important. I'm attending a Filipino community event tonight in a very important capacity, and this is an organization who's reached out to me. I'm very proud to represent my love for the Philippines, and I believe treat everyone with respect. People may not like you, but you try and reach out to them, because I think it's important that we can achieve so much. Things will be so much better in the Philippines if all this bickering stopped, if all this hate stopped. And
Malcolm,
that's what I want to say.
That reminds me of always Sita Nilda was telling me, if you meet someone in an event and then you know that he is bashing you on social media, there's no problem if you say hi. You just say hi, and that's it.
Completely right. There's people who absolutely hate me. There'll be people I've seen on the tube who give me such the dirtiest look, Filipinos. But, I just smile at them and say hi. They might think, who's this guy smiling at me? But you know what? I think love conquers hate. I think that's so important. Honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Mal, since you love the Philippines, you have that passion about the Philippines, of course, whatever the situation of the Philippines, you will be affected. Because naturally, your wife is from the Philippines. So this Philippine election is very crucial. So in your own opinion, without endorsing anyone, as we all agreed, what is the character of a certain person who will represent and who will govern our country, in your own point of view?
I'll try and approach that in two ways. Firstly, I would say anyone bashing a fellow candidate, anybody making claims against a candidate or saying this or saying that or accusing somebody of stealing, if you don't have complete proof, I don't think that's the way forward. The way I see it is this: somebody who has pride for their country, love for their country, political experience, somebody who's talking about Philippine pride, somebody who's talking about uniting the Philippines together as one. That's the person that I believe, if me personally, I've endeared myself to. It would be wrong for me to endorse a particular candidate. I fully, I've spent days thinking about this very carefully. I've been thinking about the Comelec rules in not endorsing a particular candidate, not giving money towards a particular candidate. All I can say is this: I love the Philippines very much. I've endeared myself with a candidate who I also believe loves the Philippines. And I watched an interview recently where this particular candidate was talking about restoring pride. I get proud whenever I hear the Philippine national anthem. I'm here today wearing my barong Tagalog. I'm here today wearing my
Your pin, Philippine flag.
pin badge that was actually given to me by the Philippine pin badge was given to me by the Department of Trade and Embassy, the Department of Trade and Industry at the Philippine Embassy of the UAE, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Because you were there during the
at the Expo 2020. And I'm wearing my Philippine watch from the president himself. You know, I feel very proud. It gives me goosebumps. It gives me great pride to connect myself with the country. And people keep on saying I'm some old white man, I'm losing my hair or whatever. You know, they can say whatever they want, but the fact is people cannot dispute the fact that I've been involved in the Philippines for 3 decades. I was the first person who introduced a Filipino events website to the UK that was so popular, it kind of went global, and people forget all of that, and I think that's what's important. I was promoting Filipino events before many of these people were even born. I'm sorry to get a little bit upset about it, but that's the point, and people need to understand that. You know, I was introducing Philippine artists, Philippine concerts. I've involved with an event that promotes the Philippines, brings artists over to the from the Philippines. I'm passionate about
Malcolm, talking about that, you know that it's not easy whenever you are invited to a particular event. I know from the start you said that you're going there, you're attending events without even really financial support from the other people. You are not being paid, but still, because your social media has a very large number of reach, your presence there means a lot. But how do you take on that? I mean, you know, without being paid, we all know that, you know, we should earn.
Sometimes it's difficult. I've got to be honest. You know, I don't have a fantastic job. You know, I'm working and that's great. But life is incredibly hard. And sometimes it's a real struggle. But you know what? I feel I'm at my proudest, I'm at my happiest when I'm in the company of the Filipino people. And I miss work. I cancel a lot of events at work to go to Filipino events. It's something that I've been passionate about. I've always been passionate about. And I'll give it my all. You know, even this weekend, I have a very busy schedule. But it's very, very important to me to be able to explain my love of the Philippines and to be able to encourage others. You know, I firmly believe if you marry somebody from the Philippines, you should have no issue about eating Filipino food, having the Philippine language spoken in the house. If you don't like all that, marry somebody from your own country. That's all I have to say on the matter.
That's true.
Sorry.
Okay, because Malcolm talks about entertainment because of Miss Saigon, that tremendously, you know, inspire him to know more about the Philippines. And Malcolm, Jollibee. Because it seems that, did Jollibee really pay Malcolm Conlan to endorse? Because whenever there's an opening of Jollibee, you are there. So what makes you, as a British, love Jollibee?
I'll start by saying that I did a petition 10 years ago, and my petition said, bring Jollibee to the UK, especially Earl's Court.
So
and if
it
you
was
Google that, you can see that from 10 years ago, that particular petition. You know what? I want more Philippine businesses in the UK. This is going to encourage the Philippine economy. This is going to make you know, we have Romulo Cafe, we have so many brands of, and I'm proud. I'm proud when I see a Filipino business, and my heart goes out to all the OFWs. Some of them basically, they don't have the right papers. For example, they're TNT, so they can't go back home to the Philippines. The way I see it is this: when they go to Jollibee, it reminds them of home. It reminds them of their country. When you walk into a Jollibee, you're walking into a mini Philippines. You're almost walking on Philippine soil because it's owned by Jollibee directly in the Philippines. And I feel so proud whenever I see a business that's employing Brits, it's employing other nationalities. And you know, there was this time before where Jollibee was receiving hate and there was bashing. But you know what? I think we need to all, there was even talk that there was some immigration thing, absolute rubbish. You know, I've become almost an endorser of Jollibee, not just because I like Filipino food, but because I think it's so important that we all promote our country. You know, we all promote the Philippines, the country that I love. And, you know, Jollibee is a flagship now. It's in 8 or 9 locations in the UK. You've got the Philippines on the high street, and that's why I love it so much.
All the Jollibee opening, were you there?
No, not Glasgow and Edinburgh, because I couldn't afford
because-
to go.
yeah, okay.
But there is going to be another one in the next month or so I'm going to
Yeah.
go to. And I feel passionate when I see something from the Philippines. I've been to Jollibee hundreds of times in the Philippines. My godchildren have had parties, and so many other families have had parties in Jollibee. It's people's first taste of, if you like, kind of the burger, Western food or whatever. And it brings back memories. And that's why I think Jollibee is iconic and has such an important place in society. And also we're introducing Philippine cuisine to the UK through Romulo, through Sarap, through so many other
Recently,
brands.
we have a Filipino who get into the finals.
Yes.
Yeah, Rex de Guzman.
my friend Chef Rex de Guzman.
Yeah, watch out because Susan's blog will be with Rex de Guzman next episode.
And Rex is so passionate about food. He has these ginger bagoong kind of chicken wings that are absolutely delicious. Sobrang masarap, so tasty. Oh my goodness me, I'm hungry.
Okay, is there any question from the audience?
I don't mind difficult questions.
Oh, okay. He doesn't mind difficult questions. Okay,
Okay.
Tita Nilda, English, please.
Not a question, because my English is very
Where's the
little.
translator? We need to join.
No,
Okay, we have 5
I
minutes,
just want to salute Malcolm for being loving the Philippines, especially the food. Thank you very much. And I think most of the Filipino all of the Filipino must hear that, because some of the Filipino, if they are here now in abroad, it's like they pretending they are not from Philippines. So thank you very much. I salute you, Malcolm. Thank you.
But it's very obvious when you look at the nose.
Yeah, that's my English. Thank you.
Can I also respond to that?
Okay,
we should all be promoting Filipino food. People have to understand that any Philippine business helps the Philippines. A lot of the stuff that Jollibee imports actually comes directly from the Philippines, and they pay taxes in the Philippines. People need to understand that. The reason why I endorse all of these businesses is it's helping our kababayan back home. It's helping create jobs, and that's so important to me. As a recent presidential candidate said, jobs, jobs, jobs. So important, and that's what we need to be aiming towards, so Filipinos won't have to go back home. They can work within the country, and if we don't support Filipino businesses, Filipino entities, how can we support the economy of the Philippines? And that's why it's so important. It's like buy British, buy Filipino. I constantly say that. You need to endorse your country's products. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your country. Be proud of your cuisine. I am, so you need to be as well.
Okay. Yeah, Luigi. Okay.
No, Malcolm, I just want to salute you as well. And I want to say thank you to you for always speaking well of the Philippines and never badly speaking about us. Maraming salamat, Malcolm.
That means so much to me, because I could never speak badly about the Philippines. I'm getting all emotional now, but the Philippines is one of the greatest countries in the world, and I would never ever say anything bad about the country that I love and I truly care. Whatever my bashers might say, people have to understand my heart is for the Philippines. Sorry.
Okay, what question? One question.
Okay, go, Babu.
Hello,
Okay, from
Malcolm.
Isko.
It's me
Very
again.
nice to meet you, and thank you so much. I've been listening to you carefully. Congratulations.
You're welcome, and thank you as well. I have a very difficult question for you.
But please do. Please do. Sorry. No, not at all. No, not at all. I don't accept that. I think we all need to work together for whatever I'm sorry, I was just a bit emotional then. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Among
Never cried on TV.
among the menus in Jollibee, which one do you like most?
You're clever. I would like to say one thing about Isco, if I may. I do respect the fact that he's come from humble beginnings, and I do respect the fact that he's come from Tondo as well. I've also stayed in Tondo. I've spent a couple of nights in Tondo in a simple house, and I really do know how difficult life is. And I do think it's important that people need to respect other candidates. You might not necessarily vote for them, but respect how difficult it is to stand up there and to be counted. And I do like what ISCO's done in Manila as well. I have to say that, you know, Manila's had a massive transformation, and I would like to say that. And I hope you don't mind before I go on to my question about Jollibee. Jollibee, you know, I love Jolly Spaghetti. I love the chicken. I love the burger. But my favorite is the tropical chicken burger. I've been to Jollibee more than 100 times. I've probably put on too much weight. I'm going less now. But you know what? I just love everything about the Philippines and Filipino food. Maraming salamat po sa questions sa supportahan.
Okay, Malcolm, I have someone here. I have someone. Tita Carlota, come forward. Ayan. Okay, nahiya ka na. Come, Tita Carlota.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Because Malcolm, you know, Tita Carlota is a supporter of Actually, we're having difficulty getting a supporter from BBM to come forward. But Tita Carlota is here, but she's shy. I hope, Malcolm, you inspire Tita Carlota to speak up.
Well, I'm a foreigner. I'm not Filipino, and I've been hinting at a particular candidate. And again, I respect my position here. But please, if you would, I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. You're welcome to come forward and share your opinion.
Tita Carlota, are you ready? She's shy. Okay, no problem. Okay, Malcolm. Susan, there's an online? Okay.
It's just an appreciation for coming from Alicia Molina. I don't know whoever she is. Love watching, listening with you, Sir Malcolm. Really appreciate your thoughts, concerns, love for our country, Philippines. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Maraming salamat. Can I
Alicia
just
Molina.
also quickly, can I just do one more thing? Give a quick shout out to all the incredible Filipino nurses we have in the United Kingdom. We have nearly 40,000 Filipino nurses.
Wow, 40,000.
I'm also very grateful to have been asked to be the ambassador of goodwill for the Philippine Nurses Association UK. People can join that organization free. I believe that they should. You know, I'm proud every day when I work within a hospital. I see so many Filipino nurses, and I'm so proud. You know, I'm so proud of everyone who works hard, not just nurses, healthcare workers, you know, anyone, carers. I think they're such important jobs. And I know the housekeepers, 100%. And I'll tell you why housekeepers mean so much to me, because somebody before said they're just a cleaner. There's nothing to do with being just a cleaner. If a hospital is not clean correctly, people will die. It's just as important as a other job. You know, everyone who earns a living, everyone who works abroad to provide their family has my utmost admiration, and I think that's so important. You know, Filipinos are highly trusted and highly favored. You go to all the celebrities, even politicians, even prime ministers in the UK, even the royal family, you know, they've had Filipinos working in their house, and this is because of the wonderful traits of the Filipino.
Wow, thank you very much. So, Malcolm, it is we're very privileged and honored to have you in our show. And just to wrap up these things, you know, as what the Women in Power has been talking about, Women in Power about Halalan, I think, Malcolm, the greatest lesson we ever get from this interview is that your love for our country inspire us. And I hope, since this is election, we should take that in mind. We should love our country, whatever happens, and we hope and pray that this election will be peaceful, and whoever will be elected, everybody should support, because at the end of the day, it is not the candidate that we are going to work with, it's the Philippines that we are going to support.
I've even written a letter to the last three presidents, Aquino, Gloria, President Duterte, and whoever, regardless whoever is the next president, I will congratulate them as well. My wife's from the Philippines, my family are. I will support whoever is the next president of the Philippines, because that's how I am. As a Christian, you should be praying for your country, praying for your leaders, not condemning them. That's what I say.
Thank you very much. So, Rolls of Sea is very... Can you say something in Tagalog?
Okay. So, maraming salamat po. Mabuhay Pilipinas. I'm so grateful to you, Carol. My deep appreciation for your for this opportunity. Maraming salamat po to all my family. Thank you so much. Mabuhay Pilipinas. And of course, I pray for a peace and safe election. And I love you. I love the Philippines so much. I can't keep on saying that, but people have to understand my heart. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay Pilipinas.
Thank you very much, Malcolm Conlan. Thank you very much. Okay, so I will be calling the host and then we will call you later for our extra. Thank you very much, Malcolm. Ay, umupo ako. Sige. Nahuli ang camera. Nakita tuloy yung ano ko. Okay. Okay, break tayo, Jules. Thank you again, BC Remit.
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Okay, hello. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng tumutok sa Britanya ngayon. Tandaan ang boto namin. Ang boto natin ang maghuhudyat ng pwedeng maging kapalaran ng ating bansang Pilipinas. Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas, ang mga pahayag ng ating guest, the British man with Pinoy heart, hopefully inspire everyone to have that love and concern for our beloved, the Philippines. Ako si Carol Panday.
I am proud to be a woman. Our guests are truly remarkable. We have witnessed their passion in their own profession. As women, our concerted effort will always make a difference. Let's continue to inspire each other. May your thoughts for the upcoming Halalan shared with our audience across the world are testament that we, as a woman, plays a great part in making not just a history, but story. Ako po, si Amy Baliao.
Kanya-kanya man ang ating pananaw, pahayag ng ating paniniwala, tanggap ng lahat. Maaari itong magbukas ng inyong kamalayan, katotohanang magigising
Batayan. Yes.
Tungo sa isang mapayapa at maunlad na bansa. Pilipinas naming mahal. Babu Gamboa.
At maganda ang Pilipinas, bansang ating kinagisnan, ang ating panadaling paglisan upang mangibang bayan. Dala ang kanya-kanya nating dahilan ay hindi hadlang upang patuloy nating pagsilbihan ang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Mas kilalanin natin ang Pilipinas. Ang boto natin mahalaga sa magiging kalagayan ng ating bayan. Ako si Susan Pilays Robinson, kasama namin.
Okay, tatawagin natin isa-isa.
Ana Luisa Crespo. Can we call in Ana? Can you please come?
Just stand at the back.
Yeah.
We have Marilyn Thompson.
Marilyn Thompson, of course.
And Omar Barrera, please come.
Come forward. Would you like to join us here?
Nilda Panambo.
Sorry.
Nilda Panambo. And of course,
Malcolm
Conlan. Ayan. Nandito ang ating mga...
Parang balance. So yan, di ba?
Si Malcolm sa gitna kasi malaki.
O sige, ganito ha. Papakitin namin ulit yung pangalan namin. Then after ni Susan, sabihin mo, Nilda Panambo, Malcolm. Okay?
Okay.
Simulan mo, Amy.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Susan Pilays Robinson.
Nilda Panambo.
Malcolm Conlan.
Louis Crespo.
Marilyn Thompson.
Omar Barrera.
Okay, sabay-sabay tayo ha. Basahin. 1, 2,
Britanya Ngayon.
laban lang. Isa pa nga, kasi naman. Okay, ready ha? 1, 2, 3, go. Para sa Britanya Ngayon, laban lang.
There you are.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's a cake.
Oh, there's a cake. Ay, sandali lang. Sandali. Ay, Amy, that's for you. Congratulations, Amy Baliao. To you. Happy
Happy birthday!
Ay, hindi ko alam to ha. Akala ko sa atin ito lang.
Hindi, mahal yan. Na-reimburse namin.
Thank you very, very much. Koda. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. Ay, tamo, naka-live ka pa po.
Oh, Jules! Ano to? Jules? Walang dagdag-bayad ha.
Yung sa si Busy rin siya bahala sa kanya.
Busy from the Philippines.
Hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules.
And of course, our technical directors, Ednak Samanan, James, Edgerlin, walang marko siya na. And of course, our floor director, Dinel, Sir Pida, Tita Carlota, and Tita Aida. Family of Omar is here. Maraming salamat all the way from Watford, and family of Ednak Samana and the children. And pambansang PA, Alan Valenzuela! Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Group picture now. Shama na. Steve, Malcolm, stay here. George Mike. Group picture. Come on. Baby.
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the sign up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love the BC Remit way.
Thousands of protesters as the great COVID conspiracy.
Ang programang magbibigay daan upang talakayin ang mga isyong may kinalaman sa ating karapatan bilang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Kwentong nagpapalakas ng loob at bubuhay ng bawat pangarap upang ang tagumpay ay makamtan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan.
Mga balita at kwentong kapupulutan ng aral na magsisilbing gabay para sa ating mga kababayan. Legal na usapin, hihimayin upang lubos na manawaan, tamang gabay maaring mailaan.
Balitang walang kikilingan, bawat isa magkakaroon ng boses sa dapat pakinggan, mga isyong dapat masolusyonan. Mga usaping pilit iniiwasang pag-usapan at harapin, sisikapin naming abutin sa ngalan ng katotohanan, pagkakaisa at kapayapaan.
Mga kwentuhang pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa bilang mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Britanya, bayanihan at kumustahang magbibigay inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
Ganda ng buong Britanya ang hatid namin sa inyo. Pasyalang kagigiliwan, kwentong simple, pero kapupulutan ng aral. Biyahe, lakwatsa, at kwentuhan, tiyak mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Iba't ibang kwento ng buhay, nais naming isalaysay na aral ng buhay ang tangi naming inaasam.
Sa bawat larangan, angat kakabayan, talino at galing ng Pinoy, hinangaan at may magpangalaki sa buong Britanya.
Mula sa salaysay ng bawat buhay, kwentong palasyo patungong paraiso, hatid namin ang saya, inspirasyon at galak sa lahat ng Pinoy sa buong Britanya.
Galing ng Pinoy sa mangdako ng mundo, nag-iwan ng marka sa larangan ng industriya.
Mula sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy, sa Britanya.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babu Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rapa.
Susan Pelaez Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon. Laban lang!